Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Now, I have a whole video on my tech channel covering the tech side of Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time remake that's coming out. You know, Nintendo Switch 2, since it will be a Switch 2 only thing, and go into tech details and all that, frame rate and all that stuff, and what I think about that. Well, in this video, I'll put a link to that in the description below if it interests you. Well, in this video, we're going to be talking about the lore side of Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Okay? Yeah, we're going to be talking about the lore side. Zora's domain, all the other locations, a little bit about the graphic quality and whatnot, because the domain image you saw on screen is actually roughly based on the graphical quality of the trailer that we saw. Now, with that said, it's an AI rendering of what it could look like based on the trailer. So it's not an exact that we have, but that is enough to mention the lore. Okay, so do we think that it's going to be just like remaking everything but in higher quality? Do we think they're going to take some things out? Do we think they're going to add some stuff? Do you think they're going to make it, take this chance to retcon a few things, maybe make stuff fit more with future Nintendo stuff or past Nintendo stuff? Do you think they're going to take out the whole Zelda tending us, spoilers? Can I say spoilers? Is it still spoilers? I mean, Ocarina of Time came out so long ago. So, okay, anyway, I won't spoil that particular bit, okay? But, and, okay, so I guess we'll go in order, because I have a lot of questions, because they said reimagining, which technically means that they don't have to stick to like the original scene by scene or game mechanic by game mechanic. They can actually add more saves throughout the whole thing, because Zelda Ocarina of Time was pretty forgiving, but it wasn't always the most forgiving in the world. They could add more heart pieces that you could get. They could add more full hearts that you get. Now, I mentioned a little bit of this on my other video, but they could add an amiibo that gives an extra heart piece, for all we know. We just don't know at this time. Now, that's not the only thing. Let's forget about the heart pieces for a moment. Is there still going to be a fishing minigame? That is one of the questions. Is the water temple still going to be super confusing, or is it going to be a different layout? Are they going to give us a different boss for the water temple? Are they going to give us a shadow temple? Because there was a rumored shadow temple. There was also apparently a rumor that there was supposed to be a light temple. So are we going to get a light temple? Yeah, because technically when we go to the Temple of Time, he just has the light medallion already. You have Raoul there from the beginning. So presumably there was a light temple that in order that we had to get him at the stage. But presumably it was cut out for space reasons. But space really isn't an issue now because of the fact that it's, 2026. So space isn't really an issue when it comes to games like that. So yeah, just all those questions, because they can change whatever they want. They really can. They could take out a whole aspect of the game. They could add a new aspect of the game. They could make it so Milan, what's her name? The girl that we get Epona from, the ranch, Lon Lon Ranch. They could make it so she doesn't have Bowser's feet. Because, okay, fun fact, Mario 64 and Ocarina of Time were made on the same game engine, so they're like little quote unquote Easter egg bugs, glitches, Easter eggs that are in Zelda Ocarina of Time that are basically like Mario leftovers from the assets. So, yeah, it's a little fun. They could keep those in the game. That's not really like a lore thing, but I think it would be like a fun little anecdote, if you will, type thing. Now, the iconic music, I imagine they will not be getting rid of the dun 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 dun, the ocarina thing. It's called Ocarina of Time. The main selling point of the Ocarina of Time is the Ocarina of Time. Are they going to make the zombies more zombified? Are they going to make the town less of a still, because don't get me wrong, I liked the town for you to get to the Temple of Time, but it was kind of just like a still image for the most part, and you just walked between the thing. It was probably the least interactive part of the game. They, as long as they keep the ability to break pots, I'll be happy, because I broke so many pots. Are they going to let us have more than 4 bottles? That might be a bit overkill, because see, I used to get all 4 bottles just so I could put fairies in all the bottles, because what happened is a fairy would automatically activate on your death and it would heal you completely. So that gave you 4 extra lives for free. So that was pretty cool, pretty OP now that I think about it. But I think I'm okay with that kind of OP. But yeah, we don't know what's entailed, but what are you guys looking for? Are you guys looking for them to add a light temple, add a shadow temple, or anything like that? Fun fact, rumor was also that the shadow you fight in the water area was supposed to be a boss type character in the light slash shadow temple. I don't know if it's a light temple or a shadow temple, or if the two were, they're like, you could go down a whole rabbit hole of Zelda Ocarina of Time rumors and fake lore and all that stuff all day long. I mean, that's even some kind of secret lore where they say that the one of the 3 goddesses is your mother, the owl is your father. It's a whole thing. So we won't go into down that whole rabbit hole. Okay, so yeah, just let me know what you guys are looking forward to. Okay, let me know what you guys are looking forward to. Do you guys just want like a remake that's more of a remaster, or do you guys want them to change quite a bit? And hopefully they give it some quality of life stuff as well. That would be very helpful. But yeah, I digress. Let me know. I'll catch you guys in the future. Later.